so I can get extra views. Okay, for the main gun of this class, we have the SWAT 5.56, which is a tactical or a marksman rifle. First thing you want to put on it to make this entire build work, you want the 5.6 growl conversion, which makes it full auto, but it also gets rid of some of the damage range damage and recoil gun kick, which some people don't like to get rid of. Seen vids and it looks so much fun. Yeah, I played it. You should look at it on YouTube. But it gets rid of damage range damage and recoil gun kick. See, a lot of people won't like that, but trust me, just throw this on. Okay, for the first thing, or the second thing, for the muzzle, we want the ported compensator, which first shot recoil control and vertical recoil control. Basically means the first round of your gun doesn't have like any recoil whatsoever. And the vertical, well, obviously it helps with vertical recoil. You could always throw on the monolithic suppressor, but I prefer the ported compensator. I personally choose that over that because that has a lot of downsides: aim walking steadiness and aim down sight speed. This has no cons. For the barrel, we have nothing, weirdly enough. You can't put anything on with the growl conversion kit. For the underbarrel, we're going to do the Ranger foregrip. Now, if you are low level, once again, I will suggest the vertical foregrip for the horizontal recoil control. But this gives horizontal and sprinting movement speed, which just kind of helps if you're trying to go for a speedy build. For the magazine, you're going to run the full auto extended mag, which is the only one you can throw on. Basically just gives you extra bullets. See, without this on, the mag size is 30. This gives you an extra 20 rounds to put into people. Now, rear grip, I do the commando because it gives you aim, down sight speed, jumping, sprint to fire speed, jumping, aim, down sight speed, which when it comes to Warzone, you really want all this to like speed you up, make you better. Now, if you are low level with the SWAT, I'd always suggest the quick draw or the assault. That is the SWAT 5.56 build, marksman rifle build. Now for the secondary, we do have overkill on this class, so I do throw the Kar 98 on this. So personally, you can use any optic you want. It's all up to personal preference, but I use the Ranger Caller V3.4 optic, which just gives you 7 times magnification, which just makes it easier to snipe from long distances. For the muzzle, we will have the Titanium 792, which undetectable by radar, gives you bullet velocity and damage range. See, let me look at... See, that's it with the Jack BFB. It lowers firepower, mobility, and handling, but when you come up to here, it's all pretty good compared to most of the other ones. Okay, for the barrel, we are going to put on the German word 7.62 long barrel, which does increase bullet velocity and damage range, but it does lower your sprint to fire speed, your hip fire and tac stance sprint, and aim down sight speed. But to be honest, with the damage this gun does, you can put a person down in 2 shots or 1 to the head. So, in my opinion, it's kind of worth it. For the sling, we're going to use the target sling, which increases your aim down sight speed, which completely negates what I just said about aim down sight speed of the last one. It does reduce your aim walking steadiness and aiming idle sway. But to be honest, those really don't matter as much as being able to quickly aim down sights. And ammunition, we're obviously going to put on the 7.92x 57 millimeter high grain rounds for the bullet velocity and the damage range. This gun will absolutely kill in 2 shots. Now perks I would suggest running from this, if you are more into throwing impact grenades or throwing knives, you could use this one, which is the Grenader, to give you explosive damage, slows enemies' health. Quartermaster, which you regenerate them, and Resolute. Now one I have been running recently that is very, very good. Throw-in Survivor, which health regen begins after 4 seconds, which really just helps if you're in that high speed fight. Now for perk 2, I would throw on Bomb Squad, because a lot of people have been using blast traps and spring mines and stuff like that. This basically negates it and allows you to survive through those, which truly does help. For perk 3 though, reactive armor is good. Your armor regenerates up to 100% of its maximum if you have not taken damage. But on the same hand, in my opinion, it's better to be able to survive the grenades and blast traps and all of that stuff. It's really up to your preference, but I do suggest Bomb Squad. For perk 3, you can either run Resolute, which increases your movement speed whenever taking damage. You can do that. Another good one is always Tempered. Refill armor plates to full with 2 plates instead of 3. But I do run Ghost because there are a lot of people on Resurgence and Battle Royale that just spam UAVs. So Ghost just makes it so you're undetectable to heartbeat sensor, proxy alarm, UAV, stuff like that. It makes it a lot easier to survive. Now for tactical and lethal, I would suggest Stim Shot, because it just allows you to regen faster if you're in those quick fights where you need to pop around a corner, stim, and go back into the fight. Now for the lethal, a lot of people will get mad at me for saying this, but do not choose the throwing knife or combat axe. You can, I personally do not. The reason why is because most people use throwing knives and combat axes to either 1, damage people in the middle of a fight by throwing it at them, or finish them off by throwing it at them while they're down. You could always do that, that's always fun. But the impact grenade is the one I would choose, because not only will do the same amount of damage to knock players, killing them instantly, but also if you're trying to bait someone out, you can hit them. You can throw an impact grenade and hit them around a corner, or just damage them with it, which really does help in the middle of a fight. Once again, it's all up to your preference. You don't have to listen to the